Hello everyone, this is Godzilla Wolf 1 back with another toy review, and this is a pretty special toy review actually, because today I will be reviewing the Dark of the Moon Ultimate Optimus Prime, and I might have to split this into two parts, I don't know. Now you probably noticed one thing, we're not at my normal review station. That's because this guy's too massive for that. So we're at my dining room table. My mom chose the table covers. They're nice table covers. But besides that, this is also kind of a subscriber special. If you noticed recently, I hit the 200 subscribers mark. Thanks you, everyone. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means I wanted to do something special for you guys. And for my video game people, I bought Undertale. I've got something planned for my exclusive Minecraft people. I'm still working on what I'm going to do for my My Little Pony people, because recent things involving a hashtag, look up, I think it's Where's This the Fair Use. I'm going to probably be doing a video on that. It's got me a little worried, but politics. Anyway, the reason I decided to do this figure is I think the only toy I have in my entire collection that's bigger than this guy might be the Energon Omega Sentinel, which I reviewed a few years ago. Probably a lot of years ago. But I think that's the only toy I have that's bigger than this guy. So let's get this started, because I'm probably going to split this into two parts. Now, as you can see, he's the long-nosed semi-truck we're used to from the movieverse Prime, and he's actually got a trailer, something that is rather lacking recently in Optimus Primes. Yeah, the most really we get is the trailer being part of Optimus, rather than a separate piece that can combine with him for a super mode, which is what this guy does. And as you can see, he looks pretty nice. I mean, yeah, he's a little dusty. I don't know where that came from, because I just put him up on my shelves a few days ago. Jeez. But yeah, and one thing that is cool is he's completely capable of moving and pulling the trailer and everything like that. And, you know, he actually gets this turn radius here, which can actually make him look pretty cool, and helps with shelf space. Being able to do that does help with shelf space. Now, as for what we're going to look at first, let's look at the cab, because that's naturally where you start. Now, ignore that. Now, there should be these things here you can pull out, which normally I have a lot more trouble with, but decided to be helpful today. So you can pull these out. You can do whatever you want with these. Personally, I just pull those out, and that just gives you some stability, you know, helps with posing it. Now let's look at Optimus himself, the long-nosed semi-truck, and actually a pretty good interpretation of it. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of kibble under here, but he's a movie toy, so yeah. I wish they'd used something better here. I think that the Year of the Dragon version of this mold is a bit better when it comes to paint apps, so go for that one if you prefer the red and color scheme it has. Tiny, tiny little Autobot symbol there that my my camera, sorry, does not want to pick up for some reason. Yeah, the windshields, the nice flames, whether you like them or not. And the back, yeah, you can kind of see some robot kibble, but it's not as bad as some Primes, and at least she's got something back here to cover this part up. Smokestacks are a bit flexible, so they don't break. And plenty of MechTech ports all over him. Except for one issue with him. He has no MechTech weapon. Well, he has one, but it's not for this mode. The MechTech weapons are the big gimmick of this line, and he doesn't have one for just his normal mode. He's got a lot of place to put one, and I also like that the blue flames are back there. But, yeah, no MechTech weapon. Which is a shame, because look at all these ports. I've done this by taking weapons off of other, what was it called? Dark of the Moon figures and putting them on him. You can get something out of Mad Max with this guy. And also, I apologize if you hear something in the background. That is my dryer running. But yeah, nice. He rolled very well. Like, very, very well. So that's good. And these back here are They don't peg in as well as I would like. These, I don't know what these are called. Truck person, correct me. But yeah, they don't peg in as secure as I would like, but what you gonna do? And overall, pretty good. I mean, this is a good interpretation of the movie Prime's vehicle mode. And yeah, if you look underneath, there's no hiding the fact this guy turns into a robot. But ironically, if this part wasn't here, it might actually succeed in hiding a bit better. But it's a good overall, rolls very nicely, and well, just a good interpretation of the movie Prime, whether you like the design or not. Now, let's take a look at the trailer before we get into transformations. Now, the trailer is heavy. This is a heavy trailer. He has, the normal wheels you expect. And yes, there's a big clump of stuff under here. And if you take that off, he looks a bit better. But, yeah, pretty big. Has this nice blue with the Autobot signal on the front. Like I said, these things you can fold down to kind of support it better. It doesn't really need it so long as you got this big hunk of plastic attached. And the Autobot symbol right there. This is basically just storage for something for robot mode. And plenty of mech tech boards. Also, I love these little rivets. I love it when they put rivets in these things. But yeah, let's see. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically 12 mech tech ports on him. That's a lot of mech tech ports. And for some reason these fold in and out. I don't know why. And he's also got these millimeter clips of some sort. I don't know what exactly they're called. For weapons that I believe were from the previous line. So, yeah, there's lots of potential to deck this guy out into something out of Mad Max. I mean, okay, let's look at the ports on here. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 ports on him, 12 ports on this. That's a lot of ports. I think that's like 18 different ports. So you can deck this guy out as something out of Mad Max. Issue is he doesn't come with a weapon of his own. So that is a bit of an issue. But anyway, let's get into transformation. First thing you want to do, at least what I want to do, is unpeg these. It'll make life easier. They just peg in like right here. Next you want to pop these off. They peg in somewhere. They peg in down here into these. They peg off really easily. You just want to get that out of the way. Grab the windows, pull them out of the way. Now this actually scares me. These are on clear plastic, and while they haven't broken or anything yet, that does worry me. Because clear plastic does not handle stress well, so when you pull this out, I'm afraid of breaking it. Okay, next up you want to come over here, and as you can see, these peg into the back of the cab. And just wiggle them free. And then they peg back in up here in the pelvis sort of area and flip the legs around. And that basically is the entire lower body finished. But you still got a bunch of stuff up here to deal with. Now you want to take the front of the truck, and well, first you want to unpeg this part that pegs in right here. Unpeg that, then unpeg the front of the truck. And doing so will release this part up here. So let me show you what I just did. It is like that normally. When I unpegged it and let it fall down, it unpegged itself. And there you go. Now, depending on how you want to do it, you can do this in such a way that the head pops up last, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm not going to do that. Now, you want to get the arms into position, just put them back up there. There's little sliders on the side of the inside of the truck halves. You simply want to put your thumb in there, and you can either do that, and sometimes they do force their way out, or you just have to unpeg the front of the truck. So there you go. One hand and 2 hands. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now let's see. There is an auto-morph feature here. When this pops out, the head pops up. It's basically just a little tab right there. I'm going to rotate this, and you always want to make sure that the silver on these is facing forward. Then you swing this up, and you just want to accordion this entire section upon itself. And make sure that pops into place up there on the roof. Oh, okay, it should anyway. Now you want to do that, and then you want to swing this whole section down. And under here there are pegs and holes, and you basically just want to snap this into place down there. Pretty simple to do. And then you want to collapse the chest into itself. It pegs in securely. Then you want to come back here to the back, and the one I do kind of like the fact that this kind of looks like a wing pack if you look at it right. But what you want to do is just collapse this whole thing into itself, and then just rotate the wing, these parts back up, and they just kind of rest up there. They don't peg in so much as rest, and that is actually a really tight fit, and it kind of scares me at times. But okay, there we go, and there we have. Let me move him back a little. Well, no, actually, I want to raise my tripod up a little bit. There you have Dark of the Moon Ultimate Prime in his default robot mode, and he fell over. He normally doesn't do that. And he's actually a pretty nice looking Prime version of the movie Prime. The only real issue I have is one a lot of people do. Well, that and these arms don't really want to stay up here. But yeah, he's a good interpretation of the movie Prime. Has a very nice Prime head. Nice abs, you know, the chest. The nice legs. This nice silver paint. I wish there were more of the silver paint. I really do, because it's nice silver paint. The arms, yeah, that's the big problem most people have. They are gorilla arms. There's no getting around that. He has gorilla arms. I mean, if we straighten his arm out all the way, yeah, that is way too long. And for some reason he's deciding to have loose hips today. That's not usual. This guy normally has pretty good hips. And yes, he does have a backpack, but considering this composed a lot of the cab, I'm not complaining, because that actually compacted itself really well. So I'm not really complaining about that, because that's actually a lot of mass compacted into a small space. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, basically, he's a good Prime. I do like the door shoulder pad things. They're kind of cool. I wish they weren't attached by translucent plastic, but they are. Nothing I can do about that. His chest does have the windows, as Prime does. And I like that it's not a faux window chest. I can understand why they do that sometimes, but I don't like it when they do. Like, I mean, I can understand doing it sometimes, but it's kind of nice when they can actually make it the actual windows from the truck. So another look up here. Nothing really on the bottom of the feet to add support, unfortunately. But yeah. Now let's look at articulation. Head. It's not on a ball joint, but it is on a nice swivel. You can go all the way around, which is nice. Universal shoulders. So you can go all the way out. And all the way up, actually. So, no limitations on the shoulders whatsoever. Well, except the shoulder pads, but they move. Hang on a minute. My door just swung open for no apparent reason. Sorry about that, and sorry I can't cut that out because and that's my dog. That's my dog. Yeah, basically the door swung open, and for some reason my Windows editing software does not like to edit this, and my dog is being very annoying right now. But let's get back to articulation. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. The door just swung open randomly. I have a cat that I don't want to get out. But yeah, basically you got 360 and 360 degrees on the arms. Generally these arms can hold any pose you want to put them in. Elbows, ironically, have a bit of backward motion, almost 90 degrees forward motion, a swivel below that, which is completely unhindered, no wrist articulation, but considering the big bulks, the blocks he has for arms, I can kind of respect that it's only a little under 90 degree bend. No waist articulation due to how he transforms. The hip joints, sorry, got tongue-tied. They come this far forward unless you move them out of the way. I mean, okay, sorry, I bumped into it. I got them off camera there. Because this are four before they bump, but you can move him aside and he can kick all the way up there. So no limitation there. No limitations going back. And can get 90 degrees out, so he can do the splits. If you want him to. I don't know why you would want to. Why would you want him to? So yeah, nice there. And knee joint, knee joint, it's not on ratchets, but it's actually pretty tight. You got it right there, and it can go 90 degrees, which is nice given the I love what this guy has to do, and the fact that his legs will be completely useless in his combined mode. Spoilers. Okay, and a little bit of leg movement. That's mainly there for transformation, and for some reason they made it lock down there. Don't know why. So, yeah, you can actually get this guy in some pretty nice poses. Which, this is not one. But, yeah, this guy does not have bad posability at all. Which is nice, because this is kind of the throwaway mode. Like, this is the mode that you're probably not going to have Prime in that often. And this pose is horrible, but he can actually hold it. So, well, not that horrible. But yeah, nice that he has a decent level of posability, given this is just the base figure. This is all going to be something else when you combine him up. So it's nice that the base figure is this articulated. Now, as for sizing, I believe this guy is about what you would call a Voyager class figure. So if we get a size comparison here with Murder Bee, as he's called. Yeah, he's about Voyager size. I mean, I do have a Voyager size Transformer, but he's still in storage somewhere, so I don't know. But if we straighten B out, yeah, about up to his waist, which I think is about how Prime and Bumblebee should be sized. And I forgot to do it in vehicle mode, so I'll do it with the trailer here. Here's another deluxe class Transformer next to the vehicle mode. It dwarfs the deluxe class. So this guy is massive. I'm in vehicle mode. But yeah, I'm going to split this into two parts and cover the ultimate form in the next video, because my capture card is running out of space here. So I kind of have to split this up into two pieces. But this has basically the base figure in a nutshell. I like the base figure. I wish the arms kind of had more ability to collapse, like these wheels could collapse up here. They're needed for combined mode, but I wish in robot mode they would collapse in better. And yeah, that's mainly my big complaint about this guy is, you know, kind of the gorilla arms, but they don't bug me that much. And I love the level of articulation he has. Anyway, I'll see you guys in part 2. This has been Godzilla Wolf 1. Thank you guys for 200 subscribers. That's why I did this big guy. I'm doing this big guy. So thank you, and see you guys next time. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase.